Actor Timothée Chalamet earned an Academy Award nomination at 22 for Call Me By Your Name. His performance hailed as a true breakout. His latest role has him taking on a true icon, legendary folk rocker Bob Dylan. Here's ABC's Deborah Roberts.
How much did you really know about Bob Dylan?
I knew little about Bob Dylan. I fell in love with him, and I fell in love at a time in my life where my career was taking off, and most importantly, his music is the music of life.
Actor Timothée Chalamet, one of today's biggest stars, now channeling one of America's most enduring folk music icons. Few songs have stood the test of time like Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone.
The name Bob Dylan, like Elvis Presley, like Freddie Mercury, like Elton John, it's as iconic, but weirdly his face is imprinted less in some way than these other figures because he's kept himself at a distance. This movie doesn't demystify him, but it honors the cryptic figure that is Bob Dylan.
Wow, I love that. You hit everything. Very well said.
From the look to the voice, Chalamet even learning to strum the guitar like Bob Dylan. For the new biopic, a complete unknown.
You were meant to have a few months to work on this, but because of the pandemic and other interruptions, you got 5 years.
Yeah, I was a non-guitar player, I was a non-harmonica player before the movie started. So
really?
What would have been a months-long, a disciplined, structured process became a years-long side passion. It just gave me a lot of time to live in this space, to live in this role, and to soak in the embers of the 1960s.
The film getting Oscar buzz and Golden Globe nominations. But the highest praise may have been from the legend himself.
Bob Dylan actually posted calling you a brilliant actor. That must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, one of the most affirming moments of my life. He's a man of few words, so any of those words spent saying, hey, good job, young man, I'll take that with me forever.
The first time that I saw Timothée perform as Bob and fully kind of embodying him, I was moved to tears.
I caught up with Chalamet and co-star Elle Fanning at one of New York's legendary spots where Bob Dylan famously launched his career.
That's where we started in 1961, coming to Greenwich Village, to this place right here, to the Café Wa, where a lot of folk musicians at the time were trying to get their careers going.
Had you ever been here before?
I've walked past it many of times. I knew the history of it, but I've never been here.
Fanning's character, based on Dylan's girlfriend Suze Rotolo, seen on the album cover of the free-willin' Bob Dylan.
You came here with nothing but a guitar. You never talk about your family, your past.
I'm playing someone that isn't as well known. It was kind of introducing her to the audience, someone that is in this world not to gain fame. You know, she's really there out of a pure love for Bob, and she's really the one person that knew him.
Are you happy I came here?
Chalamet on a meteoric rise since his breakout role in Call Me By Your Name.
I'd kiss you if I could.
And more recently in Wonka.
If you want to view paradise.
Elle Fanning, best known for starring in the Hulu series The Great.
But I actually don't care whether it costs you. It will be done.
And the film Super 8.
Elle Fanning is beautiful in this movie. She's heartbreaking. She's everything you would want out of a dance partner.
Bob Dylan, considered one of music's greatest songwriters, his lyrics capturing the era in Blowin' in the Wind.
Is a blowing in the wind.
An anthem of the 60s civil rights movement. But in '65, at one of his peaks, Dylan faced backlash. Some within the folk music community angry over his use of the electric guitar. On songs like A Rolling Stone.
How does it feel? Turn it down! Play it loud!
He got booed off stage because he was fiercely pursuing what felt right to him, his art that felt right. Went on to show that that was one of the most celebrated albums ever.
In 1985, ABC News asked Bob Dylan about that backlash.
Well, it's always disappointing, you know, when people decide for one reason or another they don't like your work anymore. But, you know, it's just one of those things.
Have you had a chance to meet Dylan?
Never met Bob.
Would you want to now, having played him?
You know, I go back and forth on it. I revere the man. I model my artistry off of Bob. And yet, He's given us everything he needs to give us, and me. Their art is the gift to all of us.
A gift they saw live.
We went to see Bob Dylan together, Elle,
At the Kings Road, Kings Theater.
The music was so powerful that Elle passed out and threw out. She threw up in the lobby of the theater.
In true 1960s style.
I had a bad turkey sandwich. I didn't know which deli to go to.
I like to think it's the power of the music.
Music magic brought to life and introducing an American icon to a new generation.
The hardest part was stopping, was letting it go. I've never pushed myself so much as an actor, so letting it go felt like leaving part of me behind.
The awards, the attention is rolling in. Are you prepared for what could lie ahead?
I want to be a bridge to this period in this music because it was a transformative artistic time. It was a time that was as fraught as our time right now, politically, culturally, socially, and I hope this movie is a humble bridge to that period for all people to discover.